Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Sheep Get Sheared podcast, home of people, politics, and popular culture. I'm your host, the one and only Austin Creed. My friends, welcome into the morning show. I want to see how far I make it before my throat gives out. If you've been paying attention the last couple days, it's been a little rough, but I love doing this show, so I really wanted to get this out on the air this morning. Because my friends, I talk about this idea of building a personal philosophy, constructing it as your life continues. And I bring this concept home to roost in my forthcoming manual, Biblical Bachelor, that'll be out on the 31st. But I really wanted to kind of break that down a little bit because it's something that not really I've never heard anybody else talk about this idea of developing a personal philosophy. This idea of finding out what works for you and finding a way to bring the ideology and the reality together. And one of these ways that I brought the two together is realizing a very simple fact of reality, is that success requires sacrifice. You must be willing to sacrifice something on the altar of success to achieve what it is that you want to achieve. I like that kind of imagery because it provides a this for that mentality, a cause and effect, because nothing is free. In the 48 Laws of Power, you must learn to despise the free lunch, because the free lunch is never the best, and there's always a catch. And you can never get something for nothing. Never. It doesn't work that way. So, what I want to ask you today is this: what are you willing to sacrifice upon the altar of success to achieve what it is that you want? What are you willing to give? You willing to give just a couple things? Everything? What is it you're willing to give? I ask because I'm trying to figure that out for myself. I've been dealing with some harsh realities recently, and maybe there'll be a time where I'll go really in depth on them. But it's something that has been hitting me a little hard in the heart recently. With realizing that sometimes you gotta sacrifice things that you thought were really valuable to you. But you gotta decide what's more valuable, the future, or nice thoughts of the past, or even a comfortable present. What are you willing to give up for what it is that you want? Because I guarantee you, it's like being at an auction. Let's picture it like a dream auction, okay? And they walk up and they say that here's your dream, and the bidding starts at half of everything that you currently possess. And then every time someone raises their hand in the crowd of millions, not billions of people in the world, you have no idea how many more of these will be out on the stage. And you have no idea what other people are willing to bet. But there's one maximum bet. Maximum bet is everything that you currently have, and the only way to one-up that is to give everything that you currently have and everything that you will ever have. And every time the ante gets raised and gets raised by someone else, are you going to raise your hand? You going to bet everything that you have? You going to pay top dollar, or are you going to try to wait it out a little bit? Maybe there might be a better option down the road. Or maybe the auction ends after that and you get nothing. I'm not trying to scare you, because fear is a great motivator, but it also can paralyze you and cripple you when it comes to wanting to correct behavior to push you towards success. You know what I realized? We have not defined success. What is success? Success is the realization of a worthy goal. Have you even defined what it is that you want? Because if you haven't even gotten that far, that's where we should start. But let me ask you something else. What is it in your life that you really value? Because it's really easy to sacrifice things you don't care that much about. That's the easy part. But what about the things in your life that you really do enjoy, that you care about, that you value? You going to sacrifice those too? I don't do this just as a thought exercise. This is something that you're going to grapple with. The closer you get to your destination, the further along on your quest that you march, the more it's going to tax you, the more it's going to cost you something, and you got to be ready to pay. You got to be ready to foot that bill, because trust me, it's not going to be free. And sometimes it's going to be hard to pay it. Sometimes you're not going to want to do it. But I guarantee you, you want to default, someone else will gladly scoop it up and run away with it. This idea of things being easy, free, stress-free, no. That's not how life works, my friends. It's not. I wish I could tell you it was, because trust me, make my life a lot easier for me to come out here and tell you that you deserve everything for nothing, that you're amazing, and that everything you ever think about is going to work out because you thought of it, and everything's just going to be great. And no, I can't do that. It'd be really easy for me to do that. I could laugh all the way to my new Swiss bank account. But guess what? I wouldn't be able to sleep at night lying to you about stuff like that. I wouldn't do it. To me, I don't understand how people like that make a living. I mean, hey, to each their own, I suppose. If you want to dignify being a liar with that kind of response. But look, I deal with harsh realities. The truth has a ring to it. And for those of you who don't understand that success requires sacrifice, I don't know what to tell you. You're not ready to hear this message today. And, you know, it's a little bit of a personal story, actually. My father called before the show and discussed he recently moved somewhere new to be closer with his friends and to kind of start a new chapter in his life. And he is one of the greatest men that I've ever met, if not the best, because he's always willing to sacrifice for everybody around him. And I don't know how he does it, but he somehow is able to make everybody else's priorities his own. He's able to help other people when they need it. And that's a rare skill, I gotta tell you. It's something that I grew up thinking that everybody did, but let me tell you something. It's totally false. Most people don't care about other people whatsoever, unless they're getting paid, or unless that person is for them or it benefits them to some capacity. But when my father gets excited about something, and when I realize that he's sacrificing for someone else, it makes me respect him a lot. It also makes me realize that there's a truth that stems from the Rock of Ages, the Bible, when it talks about God appreciates those who are generous. God rewards those who give. And it all goes back to this one truth that I've shared on the show multiple times, is sow you sow, so shall you reap. If you sow sharing, you sow giving, you sow generosity and grandeur, that is what you will get in return. If you sow limitation, lackluster attitude, being greedy, guess what? That's what you'll get back. No one wants to be on the same team as somebody who's greedy and trying to rip them off. They want to be on the same team as somebody who says, hey, you know what? I care about you and we're going to make this work. That's a sacrifice, putting your own ambition sometimes and saying, you know what? I'm going to help myself, but I also want to help other people as well. That takes sacrifice. But that doesn't mean necessarily that you lose something. A sacrifice in theory is, I trade this for something better, or for something of equal value at the very least. It's something that people, I don't think, understand. They think sacrifice and they think they're just losing. No. It's an investment. Excuse me. But my friends, I want you to understand this simple concept. You know, and I know it might seem simple if you grasp it. But for those of us that took us a while to really understand this. It's a revelation. And I want you to truly take this to heart, and I want you to apply it to your life. If you have paper, which I don't know why you wouldn't, but if you have a sheet of paper, write down the things in your life that you're willing to sacrifice to achieve the success that you want. And the higher it is, the more lofty it is, the more you're going to have to give. If you want to take off and fly in the sky, you got to drop some dead weight. The higher you fly, the more energy it's going to take and the more fuel it's going to take. So success is never an accident. Just because you can't see the paper trail does not mean it happened on accident or without purpose. And my friends, stop sitting on your hands and start using them to fuel your endeavors. Because life is short and your youth should not be wasted. Because youth is often wasted on the young. Because the young use it to chase the pleasures of the flesh and the pleasures of things that are fleeting and short term. But if you use it to chase the desires of the soul, not of your body, use it to chase the endeavors that you want, invest it into the piggy bank of your success, of your future, you will know success so much earlier than most people and a lot higher and a lot better than anybody that you probably know. My friends, God bless you, God bless your family, and God bless America. Never forget that your success requires adequate sacrifices upon the altar of success. Never forget that, because it will take you to places you never imagined. Places that are far beyond your expectations. But just know that the bill will always come. You must be willing to pay for things that you want. Nothing is ever free. Despise the free lunch. Peace.